Welcome to another episode, or the last episode, of Dungeons & Dragons Tomb of Annihilation.
Oh no!
We shall see about that.
We've been going for well on more than 2 years now. This is episode 76. Though if you go to the history posted on YouTube, there's more than 76 episodes because some of them were broken up due to internet connection issues.
Oh.
But so there's more than that on the playlist. But...
All of them like cohesion, cooperation, and general sense of what we were doing.
What were you saying?
So...
No, I'm kidding. So, for the final time, let's go around with introductions, and we'll start with myself today, because why not? I'm Vallen. I play as Ulfgar Holderheck, and I have been playing the NPC Aelia, which was previously a player, which was Rorax, who had to leave the campaign due to time differences, as she's on the other side of the planet. And then next to me, who will not be here today due to family emergency, is Lyssa, who has been playing as Valia Bonesmasher, the Lizardfolk Barbarian, who has been a lot of mischief and a lot of eating of people as she goes. Not after battle, during it. So gotta keep you going. And then moving on down the line, we've got Kellisto.
I am Kellisto, the Bear God Clan, and I am a half-elf druid, and I will also finish up Valia today for...
Thank you very much for that. And then moving further down, we have Nerevar.
That's me. I'm Nerevar, and I'll be playing as Tobias Salazar, Spacial Summoner, and one of his idol, Arokh Ironscale. So,
yes.
Yeah, so everyone will have two people to over control.
And then we've got, down in the bottom there, Kashcah.
Yep, hi, Dungeon Master. Can't believe this is our last session. Feels really surreal, actually.
It does.
Yeah, pretty weird.
And our most important team member, as you notice at the end of the row down here, above Kashcah and next to Nerevar, is Flippy. Our mascot that we obtained early on and somehow survived the entire time. Doesn't mean that he's not going to die now, but still, I mean, that's quite impressive for a 6 hit point little bird with a sharp beak.
We can't let him die now.
Well, that's why we left him with an NPC.
It's being babysat currently by Lucana. That's her name.
Yep. And of course, previously another player that was in the campaign was Hellfire PvP. He was able to make it in for the first episode only, but then schedules came up and his wizard player was not able to stick around, so he poofed away. And who knows, maybe our characters will run into him again someday.
Bam.
But yeah, so that was that. And then let's do the recap of the previous episode. As you can see down below, the art done by BlueHairedDragonKeeper, who is a fantastic artist, has done this for us. We did a commission, and these are representative of all the characters, which, by the way, the other character, the NPC I was mentioning that I'm playing, is Aelia, the Centaur, Cleric of the Grave / fighter multi-class. And let's see. Last episode 75, the Green Gate. We used the skull keys to open the Green Gate. Inside was a monstrous floating atropol, a floating undead gibbering blob of what might resemble a baby with the short limbs and umbilical cord leading to what could only be described as the Soulmonger. A large crystal prison for souls that were feeding the atropol in some way. It was all suspended above a pit of lava on a precarious platform. We opted to smash the crystal prison, though this upset the atropol and caused most of us a measure of exhaustion from its wail. Silencing it with a spell, we continued all while it blasted us with cold rays until we finally killed it. Our victory was short-lived, though, as through the portal on the back wall, the lich we feared appeared. Asarak. Tobias, did I say it right?
Acerak.
Dang, Acerak. Tobias was at first in an advantageous spot to attack, but quickly saw it as him being trapped there with it when Acerak disintegrated his mount, Arokh, and using a sphere of annihilation on Tobias. The rest of us split our efforts and tried to get to them, or continued on smashing the crystal prison. Eventually, the Soulmonger was destroyed, and its remains fell into the lava below. This upset the Lich to no end, and it renewed its attacks, nearly felling many of us and destroying Tinder, the other Eidolon controlled by Tobias. Tobias went down. Aelia was paralyzed. Valia was running on empty. Kellisto couldn't get a clean shot, and Ulfgar refocused from failing to mute the Lich's spells to trying to keep people alive. It seemed we were at our end, but the Lich began to tire as well, and it decided on retreat as the best course. This left us all stunned in the moment. We regained our composure and regrouped. Valia decided to walk through the portal as Ulfgar in giant eagle form arrived with Kellisto. Kashcah, take it away. Episode 76, The End and Epilogue.
Yeah, okay, so just a little bit more to go. And this tomb. Should be able to find your way out shortly with a little bit of luck. And so Valia stepped through the portal, the gate, the misty gate, and you can see the room she's in, a little to the right, kind of the main chamber. So scroll a little to the right.
Oh, all right. Oh, hey! Oh, hey!
So here's the misty gate that she stepped through at the bottom here, and she saw. I'll read the description again because I think it's worth kind of taking it in one more time.
Please and thank you.
So she steps out of the mist into an underground chapel with black basalt pillars and a polished obsidian altar. This thing back here. Resting on the altar is a leather bag the size and shape of a human body, and which appears to have been sewn shut. Beyond the altar, a heavy black drape hangs from an archway. And then these folks with the green eyes, are 8 emaciated, green-skinned creatures that she sees shackled to the walls of the chapel. Each one is now gazing at her with a single baleful eye, and they begin to kind of gibber and drool, and they're like shaking their shackles at her, they seem to be eager to be set free. And I know Valia was making a run for the altar to grab the body bag, so this is kind of where we see her in the room here, kind of mid hustle towards the altar, and where we will pick up.
Okay. If I do recall correctly, she was attempting to grab the bag and run back through the portal, hoping that it was two-way and not just a one-way door. But I don't know how far she was going to get.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we'll pick it up here, and what's everybody doing?
Well, Valia is doing exactly what we remember Monkey saying she was doing. So she's going to get the bag and trying to drag it. And we're all just kind of like looking at the port. Well, I'm looking at the porter going, should I go in? Should I not go in? And I turn around and said, let's give her a couple minutes, see if she comes back.
And Ulfgar, if I recall properly, as in his giant eagle form, was kind of motioning back towards the people that we had still left behind inside the temple.
So basically you're motioning in a northwards direction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Tobias, how about you?
But he also looks confused and curious at the same time.
Yeah, I'm currently leaning on the railing,
Okay.
trying to catch my breath because I nearly died a couple times.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And is Aelia doing anything, or is she waiting?
She is going to probably cast Healing Word on herself, if only because she only has 7 hit points and just recovered from being paralyzed. Now, she's probably going to want to take a short rest, but at this point she just knows that instantly she needs more health than what she has. So
Okay. So Valia is able to make it, to the altar. These creatures that are chained to the wall are chained pretty it's a pretty short chain, right? They can't actually reach her. And they're kind of gibbering, and as she passes them, they change from being excited to being kind of like almost sad, and they're kind of like this one here is like shaking its chains at her and almost looks like pleading, like it's pleading with her, and when she kind of passes them by, they kind of like they just become like a bit like head hanging, kind of like looking at the chains, still shaking them a bit, but generally seem like sad about this fact. So but she can make it to the altar without any interruption, and I don't know what she's planning on. What do you think when she gets to the altar? She just gonna pick it up? Is she gonna push it? Is she gonna try and open it?
I think she'd try to not open it, but try to drag it back.
Okay.
I also think she'd look at them and say, "We'll be. I'll try to come back for you."
Okay.
Especially if she saw that they look sad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe I'm my own person into Valia, but
no worries.
no, she gets her moments of sentiment. What kind of skin do these things have? Are they like scaled, like lizards or something?
They are skin. They do, have skin instead of like scales or anything like that. Actually, I think I have a picture of them that I can share with you, so you can see what they look like. There you go.
Nothing.
That's them.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
But she can certainly kind of the bag weighs about as much as one slightly tall, hefty human. So she could certainly kind of drop it to the floor, with it would land with kind of a thud, and then she can drag it quite easily with her strength towards the misty gate. So she can just drag it, and she's gonna go back through the gate.
Yeah, I think she intended to try to do that.
Okay. Then yeah, she's certainly able to. It is now very cramped on this little balcony back here, because there's not only Valia, but there's now this body bag as well. So there's no room to move back here at this point.
Which is why Ulfgar is perched on the railing at this point. There isn't any space there, but he doesn't know if his services are needed to transport people.
It's pretty tight quarters.
When she gets back, she will tell them about the things chained up in the other room, and that this body bag was on an altar, and she thought she'd bring it back to see. I don't know what her intention originally was, but I imagine she'd ask Aelia to see if it was undead or something, or just say, "Hey, let's open it."
Why did you bring this?
I feel like she could do.
Ulfgar would be like
bag.
Squawk, squawk, like looking a bit like they're off put by it and stuff. Like after her explaining it as, I found this bag, there's a body in it, and I brought it back, and we can check it out. I think Aelia would say, well, is it moving? Is it alive?
She'd be like, I don't know. I don't think so.
So we'll let them out. Maybe there's still time to save them if they haven't been drained of all their life as it is. And she holds it. She tries to start cutting the opening. Is there an opening on the? You said it's sewn shut.
It's sewn shut.
She takes her spear and starts trying to. It's rather awkward with a spear and the long. So she's like, and she's also a centaur, so she's got to get down on her, trying to cut the sewing bits open.
The sewing bits.
The sewn. Yes.
Okay. So you're trying to slice through the threads. Yeah, I mean, it would take a little bit of work with a spear.
Right.
But yeah,
Probably
eventually.
would help.
Vali's just like.
With a claw. But yeah, you can kind of cut the threads, basically. Tear the threads.
Okay. And open the bag, and
Okay.
the Scooby-Doo villain pops their head out.
So inside the bag, there is an unconscious body, right? It's human. It's a man, and it's kind of like just the way that it was in the bag. Its face is down. That his face is down towards the ground at first, like in this bag, and then I don't know. Do you guys want to have a look at who it is?
Yeah, Valia will flip him over.
Okay. So she kind of takes a clawed hand and rolls him over, and it is Artis.
Oh, yes!
Is he dead? Is he unconscious? Or Aelia would quickly check him, I'm sure.
Okay. He seems to be unconscious. Or he's not dead, but he's certainly not conscious.
Like just sleeping? Or injured that bad?
Do like a medicine check
Hey.
for me, please.
I think that's something she's pretty good at. Yeah, that's
Valia would.
it's her number one skill.
Okay, that
girl.
could be illusion. I'm not trusting this.
So it seems like there's some kind of magic at work here, and he is being kept unconscious somehow.
Valia would start poking at him, saying, "Archie, wake up!"
Aelia would say, he's not going to. He's magically enchanted to stay that way. Ulfgar suddenly squawks and flies off. Seriously, he squawks, flies off to the other side. Looks for the small ape.
It was with it's on Aelia's back.
Yeah, but she dropped it back here.
No, it's
Oh no, it is
Brought
there.
it back.
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind. He doesn't squawk. As long as she's got it with her, that's fine then.
Okay.
Sorry, brief distraction. I see the monkey now.
Yeah, so, like I said, it's crowded over there.
So Ulfgar squawks a lot. Looks pretty happy, but then upon hearing her say that, looks a bit more somber. I don't think that he has any abilities that will help.
Callisto will suggest, based off of what Valia told her, that we try to take him back through the portal, where there's more room.
Okay.
Or, at least maybe we should go through and maybe look at those creatures and see if they need our, or kill them.
Either we'll help them or murder them. One or the other.
They won't be prisoners anymore.
I see that as an absolute win.
Okay. So then, is Valia just kind of picking him up over the shoulder?
I mean, do we all agree that we should go through the portal? Okay, then yeah, she'll just pick him up, put him over her shoulder, and she'll groan and say, wait, I need another A name. She won't ever call him by his real name.
Yeah.
Right. Ass butt. I don't know.
But she'll say something, call him something else, and be like, "Oh God, you're." Because she was always giving him crap.
Yep,
Mhm.
pretty much.
Okay. So Artis and this little dude there. Okay, so everyone piles through the gate, and
A lot more space.
and yeah, immediately you're met with this kind of like cacophony of gibbering Nothics and their chains, and yeah, you see exactly what Valia described to you.
Well, she'll put Artis down on the floor.
Okay.
Ulfgar flies to the other end and perches upon the altar. And
Alright.
starts like looking at the creatures, trying to figure out if he can understand what they're saying.
The two that are kind of close to you are cowering a little bit, and they're like they're making these like almost whimpering noises, cowering.
Oh.
You know.
Valia will suggest that we release one of them, see what happens. I mean, because we can take one down pretty easily.
Okay.
And she'll choose this one.
Okay. So the
Why the essence that's a bad idea?
the
Because you're
shackles.
standing next to him.
The shackles are locked, right? So yeah, there's like a spot for a key, and this kind of lock.
Hold on. No, it's not a ritual spell. Oof. Alright, well, Ulfgar converts back to himself. And he's sitting on the edge of the altar at this point. And does the demeanor of the two closest ones seem to have changed?
It does. It changes from like one of cowering to one of let me out of these chains.
He says, oh, hold on, I might be able to set that one free. Can any of you understand me? And he says it out loud to them.
There is no response, but Aelia will say, I understand them.
What are they saying? Have you met these types of creatures before?
She says they're speaking Undercommon, and they're basically demanding to be released.
Right. Can you find out how they got here before we do? He comes down here.
She says they seem a little frenzied to have a conversation at the moment.
All the more reason. And he comes over and he's trying to approach. He says, "Can you speak Undercommon with him and let him know that I don't mean it any harm and to hold still? I'm going to shout really loud, but it'll set it free."
She relays that in Undercommon. Oh, she speaks a language that you can't understand, so you don't know if she's relaying it or not. She
Okay.
might be telling you. The dwarf's about to kill you, you should bite his head off.
Ulfgar says, "I do see that there's a tapestry down there, though. I'm worried that if I make so much noise, it'll attract something that we don't know what's coming. One of you want to have a quick peek before I cast this spell, because it's really loud."
Yeah. Tobias, do you want?
Yeah, I probably would have taken this opportunity to get Arokh back.
What's the casting? The length of ritual again?
10 minutes.
You can start it.
So I'm going to do that.
Okay.
All right. While he's doing that, Kellisto will go down and peek
Okay.
behind the curtain.
Okay.
It's a brand new car!
It's a trip to Tahiti.
I want the washing machine.
Yay. So this is what you see.
Oh crap.
Behind the curtain is a 10-foot wide, 45-foot long hallway set with 4 decorative arches that have blank walls within them. 3 paths marked out in red, gold, and purple tiles snake along the floor, each leading to one of the 3 archways. A charred skeleton on the floor points to the 4th archway, which has no path leading to it. A single torch burns in a wall sconce at the far end, and there is a bronze plaque mounted below it that bears a warning in common, written in common, says, "Behold the fate of those who defy me."
Callisto turns around and shouts, "It's another stupid puzzle."
Wait, did you say that it's written in Undercommon?
No, it's written in common. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Right. Okay. Well, then I'm just going to shout, and he uses the knock spell.
Okay.
Which choose an object that you can see, and it unlocks it.
Okay. Yeah. So you free this guy from his shackles, and yeah.
It's almost as loud as his Thunderwave spell.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of them are kind of like, well, they all seem quite terrified of this.
Well, didn't they hear Aelia?
Yeah, but it's still pretty, like,
Okay.
loud and scary. So they all seem a bit frightened by it.
He used his weirding module, you know.
Actually, you've not specified how tall those creatures are.
They're medium size, so they're no taller than, you know,
a dwarf.
I mean, they're tall, but they're not huge or anything. They're not, you know, extra big.
So does that one instantly start trying to eat
2 dwarves
Tobias?
tall. Exactly, 2 dwarves tall. No. This guy, he kind of like rubs his wrists, you know, where the chains were, and then like looks up at you, Ulfgar, and is like has its hands out like it's going to like almost touch your face or something like that.
He'd back up a bit, you know. He's a bit put off a little bit by. I don't think he's experienced these creatures before, and questionable circumstances leads him to not trust out very much right now. So,
then it will kind of like run over to its friend over here and starts like clamoring and clawing at the shackles that one has.
And Ulfgar says, "So, Aelia, can you get any more out of them? Because I'd like to know why they're here and if they're really going to be friendly. I realize that they seem to be so far, but if we end up unleashing the whole lot of them, I'm worried."
She says something to them in Undercommon, and the one that you freed replies to her. And then kind of goes back to pulling at its neighbor's chains. And Aelia will say, it's kind of, they're being a little challenging with holding a conversation. They really just, this one's insisting that we free the other one.
Let me guess, the next one will insist that they free the next one. Right. 1, 2, 3.
This one over here starts actually like just screaming.
Sorry.
It's getting like the frustration is just like, and it's just like looking up at the ceiling and just screaming, like it's got its eye like squeezed shut, like
Right.
Ulfgar, I think we better release them before they hurt our ears.
I can only set 3 more free, and then I'm tapped out of all my magic.
Oh.
Aelia says something to them in Undercommon,
Mm-hmm.
and this one replies, and she said, they say that the key is not in here.
There's a key. Oh.
Maybe it's behind this tapestry.
I thought you said there was death behind the tapestry.
Yeah, well, there's also doors.
Hmm. Right. And a scarred skeleton, right?
Chards.
Yep.
Charred skeleton. Sorry. Right. So excuse me. Trying to think what else I can do. I could try smashing the shackles off. I mean, Valia, you might be able to like smash them loose at least, and then, you know, that'll at least get them off the wall.
Aelia has further conversation with this one, and then relays to you all that one of the night hags it thinks had the key.
Oh.
Oh, didn't we have a key?
Aye.
It didn't actually open everything. We have the key. Somebody has the key.
It's not me. I've got them. I've got the marbles.
Yes. Somebody picked up an iron key with an iron ring with 8 keys. I'm gonna assume Valia.
Probably
I don't
right.
remember.
Yeah, she's our kleptomaniac.
Confirmed.
She will take the rings of keys over and try to open and try use. Thank
yeah,
you.
they fit.
Kashcah.
Yeah, they fit.
And she will do that and open them.
And while she's doing that, Ulfgar asks Aelia if she can ask them if they know anything about Artis and the man that was in the bag.
This one runs over to its screaming friend now that it sees that Valia is kind of unlocking this one, and it's taking its hands and going and talking Undercommon, and it's like petting the sides of this one's face. It's like these big clawed hands, and it's just like petting its friend's face, and its friend stops screaming, but is still kind of gibbering fairly fairly
She'll keep going to each one and unlock.
Okay. Yeah, they all kind of like, as she releases them, they all kind of like bunch up, like they're and there's just like all this gibbering going on between them, and
So what you're saying is, if I need to, one good thunderwave.
they're kind of like all just, it's almost like they're hugging each other, and there's just like all this mad kind of talking, and then the one that you originally released kind of turns and faces Aelia, and starts listening to her questions. So, sorry. They'd asked them about, Aelia had asked about the body bag that Artis was in.
Yep.
It says to Aelia, "We don't know. The night hags brought it."
Ulfgar, well, I would assume she would, when you're just straight translating like that she's just saying that out
Yeah,
loud.
I'm just telling you that as Aelia. You can do with it what you will.
Yeah, tell them to explain more.
Well, Ulfgar starts going through his pack, and he pulls out the last 3 things that he picked up, and that was the key from the scarecrow, The banquet key from the scarecrow.
Yeah, this one like bounds over here and is like petting his friend. It's like it's got its big clawed hands and it's just.
And he pulls out the 2 marbles, the black one and the putrid green, and he says, "Can you ask if they've ever seen any of these items before?"
The one that Aelia is talking to actually comes over and starts kind of like circling her like it's never seen a centaur before. It's like walking up and down like with these big kind of gangly legs that it has, and is just kind of like this one big eye just looking over Aelia, just. And then it turns, kind of like loses interest almost, turns and like whoops and plunges headlong into these like kind of weird hug with its friends over here. Lets out this huge whoop and just like, yeah. So, sorry, what was the question?
If it had seen the key or the 2 marbles before, if it knew anything about them.
Aelia is like almost having to shout because this group of 4 over here is like so happy and gibbering wildly, that she's almost having to like shout the questions, and the one who seems to be now nominated the spokesperson, this one's going to run over here as well. One who's kind of nominated as spokesperson at this point, kind of turns to her and says, "We know nothing of marbles."
Okay.
Aelia, ask them how they got here.
The spokesperson says, says, we were trying to help the master, and we can't remember what we were trying to help him with. And then he shackled us.
Is the master the Lich? That, and Ulfgar would describe him. Oh, say, yeah. Or just ask Aelia to describe him. Is that who the master is?
Yeah, she'll kind of describe him, and they say, yes, we were trying to learn his secrets.
Fair
but
enough.
They were too much.
Right. Okay.
Well, you're free now. Might as well just go home.
Well, that's the trick, isn't it? If they go down that hallway, they may end up getting scorched. If they go out this way, they may end up getting scorched.
Oh, yeah.
Right. What did that placard say down the hole again?
Something about those who defy me.
DM, would you mind reading it again?
Oh, sorry. Behold the fate of those who defy me.
That's it. And then there's the red, yellow, and purple tiles leading.
Aelia, ask them if they know anything about the hallway and how what the paths mean. Where the
It's our best way out, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we gotta go back and get Flippy.
It says, are you looking for treasure, or do you want to leave?
Both.
Yeah. Callisto kind of looks there going like she's not sure.
And you, are you looking for treasure?
Are you asking them this by Aelia? Are you asking like the Nothics this? Or?
I just going to shout out loud.
Aelia can translate that? Or?
Yeah, if she wish.
I guess that's my question. Is Aelia okay with just translating the
Sure,
questions?
she's just going to keep sighing at this point and translating, and then
Okay.
realizing what Ulfgar's been doing this whole time.
They will say back to Aelia, our treasure is knowledge. That's why we try to learn the secrets.
What are these secrets they keep talking about? Ulfgar would say to her. Can they be more specific about what?
Well, if we knew, they wouldn't be secrets.
What was so tempting? What were they trying to learn?
He had many secrets. We know he did.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't remember them now.
Callisto pipes up and says, "Okay, I guess we're looking for a way out."
Ulfgar says, "Who are you and what have you done with Callisto?" If given the option to find a way out or treasure.
Yeah, I can't really carry anymore. I think her bag of holding is still really full.
Maybe it's another bag of holding.
Oh, true. Yeah, but we also have to go back and get Flippy.
Aye. And our Princess Guardian friend.
The spokes Nothic says to his friends, Alias hears him say, "They want a way out." And he's like whooping and laughing and gibbering. "They want a way out." And then he shouts to Aelia, "Mind the bones!"
Upon her translating that in some way, I'm sure she wouldn't use quite such excitement. She would really be like, they're going on about minding bones and laughing that we want a way out. Of course, say,
That can't be good.
I'd imagine that they'd want out as well. So isn't it in their best interest to work with us in this case, and then we can all get out?
I'm sure that's not what they meant.
That's exactly what they meant. No. Just kidding.
Yeah, I probably resummoned Arokh at this point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a lot of shouting and
Screaming. His
screaming.
token. Yeah.
And shouty screaming.
And I just spilled out my drink.
So Ulfgar asks if Aelia would communicate that to them.
What's she communicating with them? Sorry.
That don't they want a way out? And don't they want to like try and work with us for that? So that everybody can get out?
They say, "What would we want outside? We don't know outside."
Well, you're kind of stuck here, aren't you?
We'll find the secrets.
Oh gosh. Okay. Right. Are the secrets down there? And he points down the hall with all the tiles.
The spokes Nothic would say, "Follow the purple trail."
After you.
And this Kupazan Callisto will say to you, "Yes, the purple trail. We should follow this one."
Why the purple trail?
Because purple is the best color.
It's like, are you a purple frog?
Purple is a color of royalty, and that is a station we should hold.
Right. Don't even ask Ulfgar. He's just gonna walk up there, and Unk is gonna be like,
Let's sit down and think about which color we like best.
Well, we can either try to find a way out this way, or we can actually make our way back all the way through this stupid place to where we came.
Yeah, assuming everything is in place back then.
Tell you what, I'll volunteer
As what?
to
Tribute?
go down the purple path. The frog is telling me to go down the purple path. Not that he really knows anything, but
Ulfgar comes over here. And he's like, okay. I can't help but notice that that one's pointing at the one door that doesn't have any tiles going to it.
yeah, it looks like he also died on the yellow path.
Does it look like he died on the yellow path?
He is kind of, his bones are on the yellow path, yes.
Okay. He says,
Which
right.
also,
Maybe there's a certain order to it, like you have to go in.
Papa Zottel will say to Valia, be sure to stay on the path.
Right. So that one went on the yellow path and then tried hopping off onto the one that's not attached. That's a
I love this,
bad one.
like, Sherlock Ulfgar that's going on.
There is no other
Okay.
Ulfgar.
I'll go do it.
Or is it Ulfgar Holmes? I don't know.
I'll go down the purple path.
All right.
Okay.
Well, just
This place sucks. I want out of here.
try a careful, slow. Yeah, just a wee bit at a time. Maybe tap lightly to see if there's pressure plates on the floor. Do you want a 10-foot pole? Valia, give me your or Aelia, give me your spear. What do you mean no?
She's like busy flipping Ulfgar the bird, like, you're lost, dwarf, you're not having a weapon.
All right. Well, I have my scimitar. I'll just poke at the one like in front.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, I made the first step.
Alright, so yeah, nothing happens. Standing on the purple tiles,
Second step.
nothing.
Third.
Yep, nothing.
Again.
Nothing's happening. You're keeping your feet on the purple, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yep, nothing's happening. Still nothing.
How far away can I cast Featherfall?
Yeah, still nothing.
All right. Can I see through this door?
Could
It is.
she see through any of them actually?
Nope, they are all plain stone archways.
All right. I'll start investigating to see if I can go through it or if there's a secret.
How are you investigating? Are you looking at it? Are you
I'll look first.
giving it a frisk?
I'm
Frisking the wall?
She's gonna lick it with her
gonna
tongue.
look first before I frisk. Then I'll frisk.
Okay. Alright, make a perception check. You don't see anything that looks like... You don't see any kind of secret door-like latches or anything. You're getting quite good at finding those now, and you don't see any here.
Is that just the looking, or does that include the frisk?
That's just the looking.
All right. I will start touching.
Okay.
So that's investigation.
So,
right?
as soon as you touch, the
Oh.
point that you touch on the stone ripples out, goes and the wall takes on, and you can kind of feel it under your fingertips, takes on this consistency of thick mud. And your fingers like push into it a little bit.
Oh, it's a Stargate.
The first shepherd.
There's gotta
I
be-
shout back that there's a magical portal type thing here.
Right. Okay. I don't know what I expected, really. I'm happy to see you're not dead.
Yeah.
What do you make of it? Do you think it's a two-way portal, perhaps, or?
I'm gonna guess no. But
What?
if I go through it,
Aye.
can't get back, then make sure you go get Flippy and get out of here the other way.
Aye. and we'll meet at the entrance.
Okay. I proceed to try to step through it.
Okay. Yeah, it's this really weird feeling as you step through this, like, it's almost like a panel of mud. You just have to kind of like push your face into it, and you come out. So I'm just gonna do this. Boop. You're
She booped. Oh crap! She booped.
You step out of the muddy kind of wall onto a stone floor, and there's kind of gentle light in the room, and you hear soft dulcimer music filling the room. You can see that the walls of the room are painted this kind of browny red color, same color you might think as dried blood. And there are bookcases in front of you, and you can see numerous bookcases in the room, and they are shrouded with cobwebs and dust. And you can see on the bookcases hundreds of leather-bound tomes that are, and the shelves are like sagging under the weight. And the music seems to be, you seem to have arrived against a southern wall, and the music seems to be coming from further north in the room.
First thing I'm going to do is try to turn around and go back through.
Hang on, let me check.
Kellisto, did she say that there was another doorway?
She
I
did
did not.
not. I think
Okay.
she just said that it sounded like something was coming from the north.
Okay.
Yeah, there's music coming from the north. Yeah, so you find that you can the wall behind you is still like the thick muddy consistency, and you can kind of push your face back through, and you see the hallway in front of you.
I'll shout, Ulfgar, I'm in another room. And see if he responds.
Okay. Are you safe? No, actually, he'll probably be more like, "Are you safe?" Because he can't.
She'll
see
be
you.
like rolling her eyes. So far.
Okay. Strange voice coming from down the hole.
And I will go back into the room and see if I can find it.
Okay. Yeah, so the room is about 20 feet wide by, let me measure the length of it, by about 30 feet long. And it has down the center of it, so it's kind of this rectangular room, right? So down the center of it, you see 4 bookcases as you step a bit further into it. Down the center, like it's like a library, right? And then on the wall to your left, there are bookcases along that wall. And you can see on the wall opposite you, you're kind of in like the southwest corner. On the wall opposite you, so on the eastern wall, you see there's a hallway that goes to the east. And to the north, you can see the back corner of, not the back corner, kind of this corner here of a chair, of a leather chair, and there seems to be somebody sitting in the chair. It's like a padded leather chair, and seems to be somebody kind of sitting, kind of like slumped a little bit, like
It's Dr. Claw.
like you can't quite see who they are,
It's Haskell.
or what what they're doing without proceeding further into the room.
I'm expecting the chair to turn around with the one mailed hand and go, "Yes, Inspector Gadget, finally."
What?
Dr. Claw. You know, all you ever saw was the chair and the hand.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Is it an altar? Oh, bigger than an altar. It looks like human size person.
I will proceed to walk towards the chair.
Towards the chair. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you, as you get closer to that end of the room, you see that it is actually an old man, and he is asleep in the chair. He has kind of like these fairly normal looking clothes on, and he's kind of sleeping. He's got his head, like his chin on his chest, and he's kind of just snoring very gently, and he has these horn-rimmed spectacles that are kind of slipping down to the end of his nose. There is a lantern-shaped device resting atop of a little side table next to him. But more disturbingly, well, I mean, that's not particularly disturbing, right? Disturbingly, on the north wall of this room, there are 3 corpses dangling upside down from shackles and chains bolted to the ceiling. So his chair kind of has it's like at an angle with its back to these corpses, but these corpses are kind of hanging behind this guy, and he's just sleeping in his chair. There's a little footstool. He does have a book on his lap actually as well. There's a footstool. He's got his feet up.
Are they dead
Just
humans?
snoozing.
Are they dead Nothics?
They are dead humans.
Okay, that's disturbing. I will kind of nope out of there and head towards the hallway.
Okay. So the hallway is about, hang on, 10, it's about 30 feet long, and it's filled with cobwebs and dust, and ends in a blank wall. So it looks like a dead end.
Yeah. I'll take out my I'll initiate my flame blade and then go try to wake up.
With the flame blade?
I mean, I'll have it ready, and then I'll have my scimitar in the other hand and kind of not enough to hurt him. Just
So you don't even have to do that. As you kind of walk up to him, he kind of and he adjusts his glasses up. Oh, young lady, why do you disturb me?
who are you?
Who are you? He says.
Do you live in this room?
What are you doing in my library?
Why is your library part of this horrible tomb?
He says, well, that's a very long story. My name is Mr. Fox. Oh, and this is my home. Perhaps you would be so kind as to share your name with me.
No. But you can just call me Druid.
Okay, Miss Druid.
Does your room lead outside in any way?
He says, I could not tell you. I am not able to leave.
Why are you unable to leave?
He says, I am bound to my home.
Why?
Oh, great magic, I'm afraid.
Is there a way to break the magic?
If I could, I certainly would have done so by now.
Who did it?
He says, well, a person of great magical ability. But I don't think I will share any more with you, unless unless you share a little paps with me.
Okay. I'm trying to get out of this place.
Come on, Clarice.
Out of this room?
No, out of this entire tomb.
He says, well, I'm afraid I can't help you there, as I am not allowed to leave this library.
Have you tried?
Oh, many times.
We need to have Kashcah do this character all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Get lost.
So your hallway down, and I point to it. I said, "Is that really a dead end?"
I couldn't tell you, I'm afraid, because you still haven't shared any information with me.
I'm getting impatient.
What do you want to know?
We could start with your name.
Yeah.
Ulfgar says, let's take a rest for now.
Or perhaps what you're doing in my home.
I told you what I'm doing in your home. I was trying to find a way out of here.
He says, entering a library that has no exits is perhaps not the best way to leave.
I can exit. I already tried and came back.
Well, you are very lucky. All right, what you up to, Tobias?
Take a quick rest.
Okay.
Just burn some hit dice for HP.
Yeah, we're all just kind of like taking some time here, talking with the dudes, hanging out.
So that's an hour, right? So okay, then Kellisto has an hour worth of
more or less
she can do.
Ulfgar doesn't want to go down the hallway unless she's around as well.
No snails. What? But Rocky Shelboa.
All right, so Aelia's going to. I'm going to roll for Aelia's health and stuff in the meantime. So continue with your conversation while we all heal our health. Thanks for buying us time to do so.
So he says, in response to you, saying that you can leave, that you are very lucky. You are very lucky then.
Well, I mean, I can leave this room, but I seem to be having trouble leaving this tomb.
Perhaps you could tell me how you arrived.
I do, actually. I describe that there's a hallway, and I point to where I came in, that has painted paths on the floor, one of them leading to...
And he says, why would you follow my path?
And I tell him that the creatures that were shackled in the other room told me that this was a way out, and the frog god in my head told me I should take it.
That is a beautiful conversation to have with somebody.
And he says, you have a frog god in your head?
I do.
Says,
I'll tell you
this
his
is
name.
Most interesting. And he takes his feet off the stool and pushes his glasses back up again because they're constantly like sliding down his nose, and pushes the footstool over to you as if encouraging you to kind of have a seat.
I'll sit down.
Okay. So you kind of sit and have this conversation with him and tell him how Kubazan arrived.
Yes, I'll describe that. I won't tell him all the details, but I'll describe that we made our way through the tomb, and each of us in the party got one of the 7 or 9, I can't remember how many, gods, and I happened to get Kubas that are inhabiting our bodies as well.
Okay. So by this point, yeah, I think after all this conversation and everything, that's a fair tale to tell. So, yeah, do your long or your short rest, excuse me, for Tobias and Ulfgar and the rest of the group would be finished. So
Don't forget there's a bunch of dead bodies hanging above you.
What kind of point of why do you have dead bodies in your wall?
What? I mean, it's something in the environment I would think she might have noticed and been curious about.
He says, "Oh," he says, "well, they did meddle where they shouldn't have, I'm afraid."
And what do you mean by metal?
So, the owner of the tomb had certain plans in mind, and they tried to interfere.
So how did they end up on your wall?
It is his tomb. He can place things wherever he likes.
So do you enjoy having them on your wall?
He says, "I am indifferent."
He's probably seen
Okay.
a lot worse.
You know what they did?
I don't know the details, young Miss Druid.
Well, I'm going to leave now and go back to my friends. But we may be back. If that's okay.
Oh, of course. They are welcome. A friend of Miss Druid is a friend of mine.
How do you feel about 8 Nothics?
Oh no! Just shoving them through the muddy portal.
It's party time!
At that, I will get up and I will try to go back through the portal and then follow the purple path, if I make it, back to the others.
Okay. So you can make it back through the muddy portal. Follow the path back to the others.
And then, so Ulfgar, I didn't find a way out. I found an old guy who's kind of difficult to talk to. Kind of reminds me a little bit of you. Just kidding. But that didn't seem to be a way out. I think that when you ask these, and I point to the creatures, these things, questions, that maybe their interpretations are not what we are trying to.
Not trying to
At this
what?
point, these guys have all grouped up, by the way, and they're...
So when you ask them that we want a way out, that may not actually mean the same thing to them as it does to us.
Ah. Right. So how'd that old guy that's tough to talk to get in there?
He says he's trapped in there and was trapped in there by the guy who owns the tomb.
Right. So we've got more prisoners then. And he doesn't have any idea how to get out, does he? Wait,
No.
is he manacled or something? Did you want the key?
No, he's not manacled. He's just trapped in the room.
That's strange. You'd think you just walk through the way you came. Huh. But then again, we've got Sleeping Beauty over here. I don't suppose... Aelia, do you think you could ask these friends of yours if they happen to have seen Dragonbait? And she kind of raises an eyebrow probably and said, good point. And would attempt to describe what Dragonbait looks like and ask if they have seen that person.
They will reply, and there's a little bit of agitation in being disturbed But they reply, no,
Okay. Thanks.
only this one. And kind of points at us.
Okay. Says they don't seem to want to be disturbed, but they did say no. Only artists. So, Ulfgar says, any thoughts if we can take the other paths? I mean, there's a yellow, there's a red, there's a non-path.
Ask them what the other paths go to.
I don't think they know where the purple one went.
They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, pretty much. Would Kellisto have gotten a short rest out of that?
Yeah, because you were sitting telling him a story, basically. So.
Okay, well, we can either continue exploring here, or we can just try going back out the way we came. But did that guy look like he wanted to get out? I mean, these ones did. They're at least just off the wall.
He kind of seems a little and possibly happy. Not really sure.
What was his circumstances?
I didn't really ask him, other than the fact that he's trying.
No, I meant like, what was his surroundings?
Oh, lots of books.
Oh. That's strange. Why would the old lich keep an old man with a bunch of books engaged in a room?
I know you can go back and ask him. He's annoying. I don't want to talk to him anymore.
I wonder if he's got any magic in them books. Probably nothing to help him get out the room, though. Well.
So, at the end of this path, there is a library with an old man, if I understand it correctly.
Correct.
And we have a skeleton in this hallway that is pointing towards a gate that is not marked by any of the paths.
Ulfgar says that might not be pointing as much as reaching for a gate that's not part of that path. And he might have gotten scorched in the process. But that is a good point nonetheless. Ulfgar says, I could check out the yellow path. See if there's another prisoner being held here. Or the red.
Perhaps. But I have a better idea. I'm going to rustle through my stuff, and I'm going to pull out the blink scroll.
Okay.
And I'm going to go alongside the red path.
Are you casting the blink spell?
No. I have it in my hand, just prepared.
Gotcha.
All right.
Just like your avatar. It's holding a little book.
So you're walking along the red tiles.
Yep.
Okay. It's a very short walk.
Very
And
narrow tiles.
I'm going to ask guys, what did you do to go through? Because I assume it's a solid wall.
It is a solid wall, yeah.
Kellisto? Hello?
Sorry, what was the question?
What did you do to go through?
Oh, I just walked through.
It's 9 3/4. Come on.
Yeah.
Bold answer, but I think that do. Okay, so I'm going to
Just
press
through the
my
wall.
hand. I'm going to press my hand against the wall and try to go
Darn.
through.
I was hoping that you'd like try just walking through it and just run into a wall.
Okay. So this wall acts a little differently. When you touch your hand to it, it actually yanks your whole body through. It's like a split second grab. The whole wall, like as you touch your hand to it, the whole wall just split second kind
Like,
of
oh
yanks
shit!
you. So you guys, Kellisto and Ulfgar, you watch as Tobias is almost violently kind of pulled through this wall.
Okay.
I look at Ulfgar. I'm like, oh, that can't be good.
And Tobias, you arrive in a room half filled with rotting corpses.
Ulfgar says, "Let's give him a second, and then if
Oh,
not,
great.
I'll try follow it and see what happens."
Hang on one second.
No.
Look at this. It is. One moment. It is about 30 feet wide and 30 feet long. So it's a square room, right? And it's just absolutely, the floor is absolutely covered with rotting corpses. And it looks like, well, you land on one, right? Or like in a
Great.
pile with them.
Great, it's a morgue.
And it's you actually kind of like, you almost feel yourself like if you move around too much, like you'll slip down between them. Protruding from the north wall is a large green devil's face. Its flared nostrils set just above the putrescent mass of this, all these rotting corpses. And a sconce above the face holds a flickering torch.
What do you do?
Okay, could you describe this again?
Yep. Room is 30 feet by 30 feet, and as you look across it, all you see is rotting corpses. And you've landed in amongst them, kind of in the middle of the room, right? And on the north wall of the room is a large green devil's face. It's kind of like, it's half the face is submerged in the corpses. Like the corpses are like up to here on this green face, right? And there is a sconce that's holding a flickering torch that's up above the face. Really?
Okay.
Do I see gates where I came from?
No. The ceiling up above you is plain.
Okay. Oh, so I came through the ceiling.
Well, you fell into the rotting corpses, so so you're not sure if you came through the ceiling, or all you know is like the wall yanked you in and then you were falling into these corpses.
I try to get a closer look inside the devil's mouth.
Okay.
Without disturbing the corpses.
Okay. So looking at it, you think that probably total this face is about 8 feet high. And if you look a bit, as you're looking a bit closer, you see that its nostrils actually look like they're hollow. Like they're not, and this is like a carving, right? And the nostrils are like hollow.
Is it the same devil's head that we saw on the second floor, I presume?
Yep.
The one on the overlay.
Yep.
But you said the nostrils were hollow?
The nostrils are hollow. And you think there's something up in there. In each one of them, actually. You looking up the nostrils and it looks like there's something up there. But you would need to move closer to get a better look at what that is.
I'm going to take a better look at this.
Okay. So you're kind of like trying to wade through these corpses towards like climbing over them. Some of them are a bit slippery. They've been
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, you get over to closer to the face and see that two things. Up inside each nostril is a lever. And the second thing is from the southwest corner of the room, there seems to be some movement. Something is underneath the corpses.
Oh shoot, this is like Star Trek or Star Wars.
Glad I got the live.
Yeah. That's it. Purple is for library, red is for dead. There you go. They rhyme.
Hey, Nubian's dress muffin. And hey, Barry.
Something is moving through the mound of corpses.
Something is moving from the southwest corner through the corpses. Looks like it's moving towards you.
Okay. John, I wish I had mage hand.
It's not a dwarf. I can tell you that. Or at least not this dwarf.
Okay, so each nostril have a lever inside.
Yep.
I'm going to pull the lever of the left nostril.
Okay. So there's some movement under the corpses that are next to the face, right? Almost as if part of the wall or part of this face is moving beneath this giant pile of corpses, right? And you see that it's like imagine that it's sand in a hourglass, and you flip the hourglass over and the sand begins draining like that. It's like this, but the corpses are draining, right? And actually I need here, actually let me go back to 1 sec. I'm gonna put your token back on this. Oh, you know what? Let me bring your token over because I do have a map for this room.
Ooh.
So we may as well use it.
Let's get to see it too.
Yeah,
we might as well.
So you are right there.
While you're doing that, I would like to mention that Ulfgar would like to work with Aelia and Valia to get rope tied to Valia and Aelia like before, and then wrap it around Ulfgar. And I realize this is going to take some time, but so that he can then proceed to follow. Because obviously it looked like he got pulled in, and they want to be able to pull people back out. So
okay. Okay.
Kellisto would try to stop him from doing that and be like, "Why don't you just talk to her?"
Okay.
I mean, because he can talk to him, right?
Tobias! He calls out. Can Tobias hear Ulfgar?
question, can I hear this?
Well, I thought you could communicate with your dragon.
Yeah, but I have to.
Well, that's a good.
Oh, never mind.
I can share senses, not exactly.
Oh, okay. I was wrong. Never mind.
Not exactly use him as
Like-
messenger.
I guess Ulfgar could ask Arokh, does he seem safe? Does he feel safe? What's he feeling? Is he okay? Did you lose your connection?
Is there a range on it? I forget.
Yeah, there was not specified, but I'm able to share senses and then basically
I think
communicate via mind.
I
with
think
my
they
I
just
don't
have to be on the same plane.
Yeah, and you have to be on the same plane.
Okay.
Okay. Yep, then that's no problem.
So what would
Arokh just answer. He might be in trouble, but I'm not able to do much if he won't summon me to his side.
Right. Okay. Well,
Actually, I don't
Continue with the rope.
Yet you can follow him.
okay. No. It's a sheep shank. Come on, get the knot right. No. It's around the tree, through the hole. No, stop that. Valia, quit it. She's like, you just gotta tie the knot.
So I need Tobias. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity.
Yeah. The corpses around you are being pulled into this drain, and hang on one second, let me read this.
You have advantage on drain dexterity saves, right?
I wish.
Okay. Sorry, this is really important, so I just want to make sure that I'm reading the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Okay. I don't know how to do this. The corpses are being swallowed by this drain, and you scramble to try and get a hold of something that isn't being pulled into this drain, and you can see that you're getting kind of deeper and deeper towards, and it's actually, you realize that it's the mouth of this devil's face that has opened wide now, and inside the mouth is in this incredible darkness, and these corpses, as they are being swallowed into this darkness, are just disappearing from view, and you try to get a hold of something that isn't a corpse moving towards this darkness, and you're not able to. And you are sucked into this darkness, and you're sucked into the darkness and destroyed.
Oh my god!
So I would assume at this point Ulfgar walks through the wall.
Would that be redeemed if I would cast cast blink in a hurry? Because I came in.
Yeah, you had the scroll prepared.
Yeah, I have this scroll prepared.
So I think that, to me, that's what the dexterity saving throw is for, right? Is to try and do something that stops you from being sucked in. And the DC is higher than 10.
Well, one of us finally died.
I'm sorry. I've read this like I keep reading it looking for something that, but it states that any creature that starts its turn once you've pulled the lever and isn't secured in some fashion must succeed on the dexterity saving throw or be pulled into the gullet and destroyed.
Does that mean a rock blinks out of existence too?
Pretty much, because Tobias has the gem with the gauntlet that Arokh is bound to. Yeah.
So.
Wrong lever!
So, for roleplay's sake, when Ulfgar steps through the wall, would he see him disappear?
Yeah, we probably should have rolled initiative for that, shouldn't we? So you're just doing the exact same thing, and you're tied to
Valia and Aelia are both holding the rope. I mean, I don't know that there was a disconnect between me going through and not. Arokh was saying he could use some help, but if he needs me, he'd summon me.
I don't. Well, make a perception check. How's this?
Okay.
I'm sorry, but the DC's can be pretty high because you're trying to take in a whole room, and I still don't think you'd be able to see.
Are you trying to save me right now?
I don't know. I'm walking through the doorway at this point, tied to rope. So we're finding out what's happening as it's happening. I think that you and Arokh just blinked pretty much as Ulfgar walked through the door.
I think that we would notice if Arokh blinked out of existence, and Valia and Aelia would try to pull you back ASAP.
So at a glance, as I'm yanked back, what do I see?
You see rotting corpses.
Disappearing?
Yeah, I think like in the split second or the seconds that you have, maybe you have like a couple of seconds, you see rotting, and they do seem to be moving towards a specific point of the room. Like they're draining, right? Like sand in an hourglass, they're draining from this room.
Okay. So being yanked back immediately, Ulfgar says, "What are you doing? I was just going in."
He's gone.
No, I didn't even get a chance to see him. He's just in there. And Ulfgar starts trying to walk forward again toward him.
No, and we pull you back. Aelia pulls you back.
And he says, "He's right there."
He's not there. Arokh just blinked out of existence.
I said, "No, he just summoned him to his side. He's got to be right there. He said he was going to summon him if he needs him. That means I need to go in."
Wait, did you see him?
No, I just saw a lot. There was a lot of dead people in there. I need to go. Ulfgar starts trying to go again.
Aelia won't let you. Well, I'm not playing Aelia, but Valia won't let you.
Right, she's the other one she's the one.
I feel like Aelia wouldn't let you either, but
Aelia's the anchor, Valia's the one yanking, so...
Yep.
He'd say, at least let me stick my head through so I can send a message and see if he's there.
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, we could try that.
So it's like he's like being pulled both ways. But
Valia has a strong grip on your feet.
he would try and send message into the room, just
So, if you're touching the wall, I need Valia to make a strength check, because this wall, as I described, almost violently yanked Tobias into the room.
I don't have Valia's strength check for Valia.
Oh, I just did it.
Yeah.
I didn't do a very good job.
That was a strength save. She
Sorry.
said strength check.
God damn it.
Oh, God, it's
Oh
even
God.
worse. Well, Aelia is holding on to the rope too, and if it looks like Valia is going, Kellisto will try to grab her.
Okay. So if Aelia was holding on to the rope too, then we've done this before, right? When you're helping somebody with an action, that gives that person advantage. So in that case, then Valia would have advantage on that strength check. Aelia is using her action to, wait, is it aid or assist? I can't remember what it's called.
It's a help action.
It's a help action. She's using her help action to help Valia hold on to the rope. So she gets the 22 instead of the 8, which is saving your ass, frankly, Ulfgar. And you feel like your face is about to be like sucked off because, wow, that sounds really bad.
Yeah.
The skin from your face is about to be like pulled off of like, your skull. That's like the intensity of this, like, the yanking through the doorway.
Okay.
So you've got, you wanted to cast message? Is that what you were doing?
Yes, I was trying to see if I could get a response from anybody and see one last time to see if he was in there.
How long what's the...
It's an action.
I don't think you can do that, right?
Okay. All right. He was going to attempt it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was going to succeed.
Yeah, then I agree that you are not able to succeed. It's like this, you feel like the skin's about to be removed from your skull, and you get kind of yanked back by the rope.
Okay.
What?
I'm so sorry.
By the way, Nerevar, thank you for the subscription.
I regret nothing. It was fun adventure.
It's the last episode anyway, right? So you're not really going to miss out much more.
Yeah, it looks like Tobias will not be going back to the headquarters of the order. Well, yeah, and my idea for the campaign just just went into flames.
So, do I get another perception check?
I'm gonna move the view back to you guys.
All right.
Do you get another perception check around the room?
Yep.
You mean?
Yep.
Didn't you already roll that?
I did, but I was looking to see if I could find him again. Going back, that's why we were trying to see if he was in there or if.
Why do you get another one?
I was just asking because I stuck my head in a second time. I don't know.
A second time?
That was the second time.
No, that was the first time because that strength check. You want to stick your head in
no.
the second time? We'll
Sorry.
do another set of strength checks.
So
Who else wants to die to the...
I thought that I had actually got my head in there and saw the corpses and got yanked out the first time, and then went and didn't see him. But then everybody said that Arokh disappeared, and I was just trying to see. So I guess it's just a matter of...
If you're sticking your head in the second time, another strength check will need to be rolled.
I thought that was the second time. I'm sorry.
That's all right. There's only one strength check. So.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
are you
she's-
going for a second look?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just checking.
I don't know how I could have seen the bodies the first time. Do you follow?
So here's how I'm picturing it, right?
Okay. All right.
You so you approach the wall, follow the little red path, right?
Yep.
You stick your head in, and that's when your 21 perception check kicks in, right? And you see the corpses draining through the skull's mouth, or the devil's the mouth of that sculpture. And Kellisto and Valia and Aelia pull you back.
Okay. All right.
I know, Bean.
Sorry, just wanted to get the details right. All right. So Ulfgar retreats along the red path and proceeds to have a breakdown. Thinking how, he came such a long way. Valia would be upset. Aelia would be really upset. Really, really upset. The monkey would be coughing. Let's just move Arokh off of there.
Maybe we should take a rest and leave the tomb the way we came.
Aye.
Although I feel like one of these has got to get us out of here. Obviously not red. Obviously not purple. Maybe it is the one the corpse is pointing to.
We already know there's a way out. I don't think anybody else needs to die.
Okay. We gotta carry Artis a really long way.
Aye, I can do that. Just gonna look to see what other spells there are here. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't really have much more. Okay. So
Aelia will say, they did tell us to mine the bones. When we said we wanted to leave, the Nothics said to mind the bones.
Does that mean avoid them? Or go where they're telling us to?
Well, you said already that they don't mean the same thing than what we think. So I couldn't tell you.
Well,
Let's set up camp here. Without Artis on the altar here, maybe maybe the enchantment will wear off in time and we can find dragon bait from him. Worst case, we take him out, we get him, see if we can find somebody that can disenchant him, and then go back looking for dragon bait at some point. But
well, we still have to go back and get Flippy anyway. So
aye.
if we
And,
rest one night, I can go and get because I'll be able to fly.
Go and get. Oh, Flippy. Well, what about the guardian?
She's not going to leave that place.
Yes, thank you. Right, but I just worry about her. We could let her know the status of things, and she could work to, I don't know, Right. Let's at least get everybody to safety. For now, we can rest here. I'll put in my bubble. And we'll have a drink in his honor.
Aelia will say, someone should notify his order. They would want to know. She says, I think they would want to know his story.
Mm.
And everything that he accomplished.
Ulfgar says, if I survive it, I'll be sure to tell the Emerald Enclave. We can see if people in Port Nyanzaru are familiar enough with it that we might be able to contact them. Because I think he was not as well known of an order in these parts, but in a big enough city like that, and informed enough people like the Emerald Enclave, we might be able to track it down, get them the information about what happened to him. We couldn't have done it without him. And he sits down and he starts doing his ritual for the bubble. Which he tries setting up over here.
I was going to say, are you sharing the bubble with the Northics?
There you go. And they are not allowed in the bubble.
And while you're doing the ritual, one of them will kind of come and oh, you had to share that Hellfire. You're one of the Nothics will actually kind of come over to you while you're doing the ritual. Like, you guys have been faffing around quite a bit, but this is something new.
Well, as soon as it's cast, he gets pushed out. So
yeah, poor Chatter as well.
Him and his dragon get sucked into a pit of oblivion, and you say, "Poor magical sword." What?
Yeah, fair enough.
Chatter did not sign up for Oblivion via
heading like when I acquired Chatter. Yeah, I should gone for the Warlock Hexblade multi-class.
Here's my question.
That will be very interesting.
Did one of the Nothics suddenly get imbued by a random spirit, god spirit?
Nope. No.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, the Moa got destroyed also.
The monkey suddenly feels a bit more interested. Oof. Alright.
Okay, so you're putting your bubble up.
Yep.
The Nothics are intrigued, but within 10 minutes you're pushed out of said bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're all taking kind of a long rest, I take it, to replenish spells and whatnot.
More a morality thing than anything, but yeah.
Okay.
And probably getting a bit tipsy with what little Tej is left. I don't know that I have any left. Do you have any Tej left?
I'm gonna assume not. Oh,
Shoot.
sorry, I didn't mean to click.
Speak with animals. Excuse me.
Okay, so yeah, you might find sadly you don't have any Tej left to drink to Tobias's honor, but yeah, it sure is a shame you got rid of that alchemy jug. Oh. It's a mayonnaise.
No, that was a big mistake.
Well, I tried so hard, but in the end, that doesn't really matter.
Oof.
Yeah, so you're able to rest. Yeah, and are you doing watches at all, or just resting. You leaving Artis? I mean,
Oh no,
this
Artis is
okay?
in the bubble with us.
Okay.
I can't move him, so.
Okay, sorry.
I didn't want to cut off their escape if they wanted to go through the portals, so.
I think we wouldn't bother. I mean, I wouldn't. I would just go. At this
Thanks,
point in
Cal.
time, morale's like not there.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever.
Thank you, Calligator.
Thanks, Calligator.
Just whatever.
So
Yeah,
still raise
yeah.
a cup of water. And say, here's to Tobias, Arokh Tinder, and his magical chatty sword. Chatty McChatty face. Which probably the last thing you heard in your mind was him going,
You idiot!
yeah, like, I hate you. Or something.
It would have been like screams and what are you thinking? And, yeah, all that crap. So when you all kind of rouse from your slumber, you find there's one Nothic like plastered to the dome, and he's like drooling a little bit, like, and he's just kind of staring down at you all. And you look over, and there's some others that are like, they're hopping backwards and forwards through the mist gate, cackling like it's some kind of game, you know, to them at this point. Yeah. So, one of them is sleeping on the altar. Yeah. So it's just kind of mad Nothic chaos. So you know.
Okay.
Regular day in the underground chapel here. Yeah. It does feel very much like it's time to go. First of all, you're out of Tej.
That should have been a sign.
Yeah.
That's the most important bit.
Yeah, I think the plan is probably that we would make. I don't know. Obviously, we're not going to do it backwards, but if we have to roll for it, we'd probably go back, get Flippy, and then make our way however we can to get out.
Okay.
Although it was all blocked at the top, wasn't it?
Oh boy.
How many episodes
This
back is
is
that?
not.
So we might not have a choice.
Hang on. Let me check one thing here. Was not expecting this.
I take it Artis's enchantment does not wear
Oh,
off.
you did not expect my death?
I did not expect that. No, for sure. Also did not expect. Sorry. Did not expect the retracing of the steps.
Do you want me to take her out quick?
Well, if we remember that the stone came down and there's no way out, we have no choice but to go through.
Yeah, then I think you do remember that.
Okay. Then
Let's just save a little time.
Valia and I would insist on going back to get Flippy.
Okay.
Okay.
We'd have to try one of the other gates.
Which rope around Ulfgar, and he'd volunteer to go through the yellow then. Or he'd say, either I go through the yellow, or I try going through the non-yellow. What do your gothic friends... what do your gothic friends tell you there, Aelia? Is yellow safe, or the door without a color? I don't know if they see the same shades of color.
Here, I'm just gonna pop these two in here. Is Flippy returned? And Lakanu. as well.
Flippy! Oh, Lakanu has a...
So Aelia can kind of ask the Nothics again, you know, if we want to leave, which way do we go? And
the red!
yeah, that's one way to leave.
Leave and never return!
And the spokes Nothic again shouts, just mind the bones! Like really kind of like agitated.
What the
Okay.
heck does that mean? That doesn't translate very well.
Callisto will volunteer to go through the gate with the bones are pointing.
What?
Worked out for me last
Oh.
time.
Yeah. So
Not without a rope and proper supervision.
That's fine.
okay. So there's no path, right? And there's no colored tiles to follow to that gate. So are you just kind of making a beeline for it, or
No, I'd probably take the yellow or the purple path
okay?
and then through.
Are
Just
you
stop
gonna just fly through?
No, I would just step through.
Okay.
All right. So where are you standing, Ulfgar? And
Oh, sorry.
can we can you position your
Ulfgar's
dudes?
here. Aelia's there. She's got the rope tied around the pillar. Valia is there as well.
Okay.
Everybody's got a hold of the rope,
And
doubly
Lakanu
tied around
will
Callisto.
kind of come and stand here. All right. So you're standing looking at a blank stone wall in front of you.
Okay. I will try to go through it like a the mudra.
Yeah, you touch it and nothing happens.
Okay. I feel around for like a trigger.
Okay. Make a investigation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll shout back and say like I can't open the.
Do you want me to shout at it?
Yeah, try it.
All right, let's trade places then. Give me that rope. Come back here. All right.
Okay.
Ulfgar's all roped up and everything. He stands up in front of the door.
Jesus.
And actually, doesn't it? I actually gave it a name for the spell. Where is it? Oh right, he's got to use a. Oh yeah, he regained all of his spell slots. I forgot. Ah yay.
Yep. Sure did.
Let's unlock, relock that. So he casts knock.
Okay. All right. So some stuff happens. So first thing that happens is exactly what you want. The door, the solid wall in front of you becomes a door, right? You see it kind of like pop backwards, and then it rolls a little, and slides open, rolls to the left and slides open, right? And you can see beyond it is this. Right?
Oh.
It hold on a second, let me read you this description. A pool of jet black ooze glistens inside this silent chamber. And you see the wall behind it is decorated with relief carvings depicting black stars. And then the second thing happens that you're not gonna like. So there's this kind of you hear a small kind of magical, almost like somebody, there was like a small arcane word uttered,
pull
on the just whispered on the wind.
He
yells, but
he yells pull, thinking it's a trap.
hang on a second.
I know, just letting you know.
So let me know before anything's happened at all.
I don't want it to be too late and then my reaction be metagamed.
Okay. So
Are you implying something?
I need you and Valia to make a. Hang on, let me measure that. Yeah, you and Valia to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, okay. Saving throw. Really? Oh, okay. That was. Eek. Okay.
Okay. So this arcane trigger that you have managed to kind of kick off. Or actually, no, Valia will be fine. Sorry. Hang on, because it is centered on the door. So it is
I wanted to use. Hold on.
centered right there.
The thing that it's called divinity. Hold on. It's divine magic. No. Favored by the gods. This thing. Sorry, I was trying to look to find it.
Okay. Which one is yours and which one's is... Actually, Valia didn't need to... Sorry, she was outside the bubble.
I'm not rolling for Valia, so...
But of the original rolls... Oh. Well, you know what? Roll the 2d4 and then we'll see if that even matters.
The 7 dexterity save was mine for Val.
Ah, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. There you go.
That is still, I'm afraid, a fail.
Ugh.
It had a DC of 24.
Oof.
So you are hit by this cold, this sphere of cold that is triggered, and then the second thing's going to happen. So hang on one sec. You take 23 points of cold damage.
Okay.
Then the second thing that happens is right in front of you guys' face, Kellisto, this wall of fire appears. And actually...
the rope.
Who's got the rope?
It's kind of like a line right now.
I have a question. Who is this?
That's you remember the guardian that she's been praying at the Empress's tomb for quite a while.
Yeah, but how she get the hair here?
She came back with Kellisto.
Yeah, we rested overnight, then the party went back all the way to tell her everything that happened. We tried to get out through the original entrance. We couldn't, so then we came back down in an attempt to continue on and see if we can find an exit.
Okay. So this wall of fire springs up at the end of the hallway, setting that curtain that was there, that's set on fire, and it spans the width and height of the hallway.
Okay.
So actually, let's roll some initiative. Oop.
I've got to fight the fire. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. Sorry. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Ulfgar.
Oh crap! Now I have to find Lacanus. You know what? She's just getting a D20.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? No, I have her thing, don't I?
And then Aelia.
Oh Christ, Lacanus, where the hell are you? I forgot. There's a whole miscellaneous humanoid section. Yep. Okay, I found her. Okay. All right. So then, all right, Valia. What's Valia up to?
Well, she's gonna take a tighter grip on the rope. And shout, Ulfgar, are you okay?
He had yelled pull, and then he got zapped.
Oh, okay.
So
then she will pull him back.
Okay. Yeah, she's able to pull him. Ulfgar, I mean,
Okay.
she has a significant strength, and Ulfgar is a dwarf.
Oh, was that just a trigger? It's gone.
It was just a poof
Okay.
of cold, and it's gone. I think. Double check. Do you really want it to stick around?
No, I don't.
Why?
Why ever not? So yeah, she's able to kind of pull Ulfgar back towards her. So Ulfgar, you end up kind of like there, just careful not to touch
Yeah.
that. No. Well, so then Ulfgar, what are you up to?
First, he takes a step away from there. And he sees the wall of fire, and it's still there, right?
It is still there.
Right. He says, "Is that real?" And or is that an illusion? And he looks to follow the rope. Is it burning?
The rope is burning.
Oh, and the curtains. You said the curtains are burning as
Yep.
well. Great. He says, "Well, I suppose that'll go out at some point, right?" I feel like I've said this before. Oh yeah, it's about artists waking up. Yeah, I don't have anything that'll stop that fire. I guess Valia, you and I are stuck on this side to see if we can figure out how to deactivate this thing. Thanks for pulling me back. Are you all okay over there?
So are you taking any actions
No.
after your 15-second conversation and
Nope.
6-second?
Sorry, I forgot we were in initiative order. Sorry.
Alright. The wall of fire moves forward.
I don't know what direction forward is.
Sorry, moves northwards. And like, yeah, it's gonna move towards Valia.
Looks like it went through Valia.
Yep, it went through Valia. So
No.
let's see. Hang on, because I think. Okay. So. Okay, so on her turn, she's probably gonna take some damage from that. And Lakanu, is gonna kind of like rush forward to hopefully aid Valia. How about Aelia?
Sorry, Aelia. I don't know that she has any spells that will really help in this situation. I guess she'll move up over here and say, "Look out! The firewall's moving your way." I don't know that there's anything that she'd be able to do. Right. I mean.
All right. Flippy.
Flippy's freaking out and rushing towards towards everyone and trying to get past them to get to that. But at the same time, he can't get past because Callisto and Aelia. Well, Callisto won't let him.
Okay.
I forgot. Aelia is supposed to be keeping an eye on artists.
Well, I'm sure everyone would probably abandon him
So
for a minute.
she'd probably say the same thing, but she really wouldn't leave him unattended with all these jumping Nothics.
All right, Callisto.
Callisto is going to rush ahead and touch Valia and cast protection from energy for fire.
Oh wow, that's good timing.
That's very handy.
Yeah, it is.
And then Valia's turn. So she's gonna take some fire damage. You have resistance, so she takes half of this. So she takes 10 points of fire damage.
Nice.
She will basically move forward and push Ulfgar again, or pick him up, so that the firewall, because it she's gonna try to move him as forward as possible.
Okay.
She can now walk through it.
She's already in it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you taking him to? He's not really going to resist.
Yeah.
Seeing the firewall coming and her running with it.
Actually, I think she will actually try to take him into this room, assuming that the fire will just go down the side.
Okay. And Ulfgar?
He'll say, "Look out, it might change direction," and he'll move into this room.
Okay. So Lakanu, and sure enough, the fire moves another 10 feet this way.
Oh, that's it. Do I get to see what's in the room?
Oh yeah, sorry. So the room looks like this, and there actually is no more to it than I already described.
Okay. He would actually move around the corner then to prevent it from. Because for all I know, the fire is like going to extend all the way down. I don't know, but
Valia is protected for up to an hour, so
nice.
She's fine.
Okay. Lakanu is kind of following behind, ready to kind of help if she can. Is Aelia staying with Artis?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
And she'll probably keep Flippy with her.
Yes.
So then Kellisto?
I will cast that again on my.
You can only maintain one concentration spell at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, I can? Oh,
Yeah.
Is it concentration?
Yeah.
Never mind. I will kind of follow behind it a little bit.
Okay. And Valia?
She will go into the room and look at the pool, assuming she needs to put herself in front of Ulfgar if the fire comes her.
Okay. So she sees the same thing that I described to Ulfgar, which let me just get to it and I'll describe it one more time. So this is like a pool of jet black ooze, and it's kind of glistening, rippling, just they're not quite sure what's causing the ripples, but there's definitely kind of these ripples across it. And the walls of this entire chamber are decorated with carvings that depict black stars.
Depict what?
Black stars.
Black stars.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anything she would like to do?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
She's just waiting.
All right. Ulfgar, how about you?
Ulfgar asks Unk if Unk knows anything about what this is.
Unk says, maybe if we thought about it for a while, I could figure something out.
Oh God. He says, Valia, hang on to the rope that's around my waist. And then he touches the ooze.
Yeah, nothing.
Does it stick to his finger?
A little bit, but it just kind of it's like almost like, well, not silly putty, it's a bit more viscous than that, but it kind of sticks to your fingers for a second and then sucked back into, become one with the rest of the ooze. So it's almost like a syrup consistency, but it doesn't seem to want to like separate, like you couldn't separate some of it from the rest, or I don't know.
He says, I don't know what this is or what we're looking at.
Make a wisdom roll, because I can.
Wisdom check.
Yeah, just straight wisdom.
Okay.
Not a save or anything.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. So this looks like the color and kind of consistency or shimmer somehow of this ooze actually reminds you of the marbles that you have.
Okay, he'll take out the black marble.
Okay. Alright. Then Lakanu is just kind of holding, oh, actually, sorry. This thing moves 10 feet further forward. And she will kind of peek, like she rushes forward to the door to make sure that you're both okay. And Aelia, gonna stick with Artis.
Yep.
Okay, Flippy sticking with Aelia.
She's probably gonna like pick him up at this point and toss him on his back and say, "We're not being left behind. Come on."
Okay. All right.
She's saying this more to herself than anything because none of the company really can respond.
Well, and yeah, and the one-wheeled monkey as well. Okay, Kellisto.
I will move into the room.
Okay. Yeah, you see this kind of it's like a font, big kind of ground level font. Just this pool of black ooze, and you see Ulfgar has the two marbles that you've come across when you were fighting other stuff.
The hags.
In his hands. In his hand.
Okay. He's got a black one and a putrid green one.
There were two black ones. Did you have both of them, or did somebody else have the other one?
Well, somebody picked up some 5 black marbles. Wrote them down, but I don't know
Ulfgar got
if that's...
2 of the 3 unique ones. The third one was Valia.
Okay. Alright, so you're holding out. So the putrid green one doesn't match at all, but the black one that you're holding, Ulfgar, does match.
Okay. So it's not his turn yet.
No, it's not. But Valia, it is Valia's.
Valia doesn't really get, she's just kind of looking at things. She kind of like touch.
Okay.
She goes back out to see where the fire is as well.
Okay. Yep. Alright, Ulfgar. What you up to with this marble?
He takes it and he gently places it in the liquid to see what happens.
Okay. So the ooze just kind of like wraps around it immediately, and the black marble sinks into it. It's like it envelops it. And immediately rising up from the center of this pool is a 4-foot tall black obelisk, which is clearly a miniature version of the one that you saw so long ago outside the tomb entrance, right before you entered.
Okay. Is there markings on it? Because that one had markings on it too.
That one did have markings on it. This one does not.
He just puts his hand on it.
Okay.
If he's still got enough time for that, I don't know.
Ulfgar reaches out, puts his hand on this obelisk, and Kellisto, he immediately disappears.
She's like, "Ah!" And she shouts back, either Ulfgar just died or he got out.
Next.
Well, she doesn't want to just leave everyone, so she like
Yeah. So
shouts for them to come in.
okay. Yeah, Lakanu will come into the room. She stands over here and she says, "What am I supposed to do?"
Aelia says, "Help me."
I thought
She,
she got Arthas on her back.
She does, but she's also got a monkey and a bird that she's trying to get down there.
She's trying to wrangle.
Right? Valia, get your bird. So, there you go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Callisto does tell Lakanu that Ulfgar touched it and disappeared.
She says, "Is that a good thing or?"
Callisto's like, I don't know.
She's,
mean,
she seems hesitant and like she's gonna wait.
well, there's no other way out of here.
Okay. She's holding her action.
Okay.
See what other people are doing. So what about Aelia? What is Aelia doing?
She's leaving Flippy, but she's taking the monkey and Artis down into the room with everybody else.
Okay. She's got the monkey.
She said, "Where's Ulfgar?"
Artist.
He touched the black thing and disappeared.
Would Aelia recognize this?
Yes, I think she would.
She says, "This looks like the same stone at the entrance. Surely he knew what he was doing." She takes...
Callisto looks at her, like, really?
And she goes, "Well, let's find out." And she grabs Artis's hand.
It took me a minute to figure that out.
Wow. Let's talk about alignment.
I'm just
change.
kidding. She wouldn't do
No,
that. I don't know. But if she thinks that it's a teleport with, like, by touching, then that's what she would do. But I don't know if that's what her wisdom is telling her at this point. Let's do a wisdom roll for her. See what she figures out. I have no idea. I just wanted to roll. So she says, "So do we do what did he do? What did you see him do?" Valia, I thought that you had him on a rope. Darn kid keeps getting away.
So what's she doing?
She's waiting. She's got Artis. She's got Artis and one of his hands, thinking she might have to put it on there for him. And she also has the monkey, and she's trying to reassure it right now.
Okay, so she's holding as well.
Yes.
All right, let's like move everybody around a little bit. Okay. So Flippy, I think will just run up to. Ooh, yeah. Right, and Callisto.
Callisto will say, "Well, I guess I'll try it. Hope I see you guys on the other side." And she will touch the thing.
Okay. Yep. So, Aelia and Valia, everybody else. Well, not artists, but we'll see Callisto disappear.
As she disappears, "It's so beautiful."
It's a beautiful light. I'm just gonna head towards it. Alright.
So Valia will get Flippy in there.
Okay. Gonna football him.
She'll probably, yeah, I guess if he's small enough to pick up, she'll pick him up and then she'll touch it.
Okay. Alright. Yep. They both disappear. So seeing this, Lakanu's like looks at Aelia and says, "I'm not staying down here by myself," and uses her held action to also touch the obelisk.
Aelia says to herself, "Finally, alone.
Some peace and quiet.
Right. And then she hears the Nothics in the other room. And then she takes the artist's hand and the monkey's hand, and she kind of touches them and hers to the stone as best she can.
Okay. All right. So we don't need turn order.
Assuming that Flippy went with Valia.
Yeah, everybody's gone except Aelia. Artis is
would never-
unconscious body. So you all are kind of spat out of the obelisk outside the tomb entrance and kind of tumble to the ground, to the green grass and fresh air and sunshine and
Oh, thank goodness for
smells
humid
of
jungles.
the jungle and all the sounds of the jungle, the chirping birds and the insects and monkeys in the distance, and you find yourself right back outside the tomb entrance and look over your shoulder from your kind of prone position, and sure enough there is the original obelisk that you saw on your way in.
Okay.
Callisto lays there and is like, "Oh, real treat." Just kind of lays there for a while, stares up at the sky.
Ulfgar's happy to see everybody because he was like waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm like, oh no. He's thinking the worst. He's like, everybody just got torched. We already lost somebody to a corpse pit. But he actually gets a little bit teary upon it, seeing everybody arrive.
So I'm going to move you back to a place that we haven't seen in a long time.
Oh my gosh.
The map of Chult. And you are, yes, back at Omu. And that is the end of the epic tale that is the Tomb of Annihilation. But I know a couple of you have things that you wanted your characters to do. So absolutely, you would be able to make your way through the jungle, once again to kind of close up those like loose ends, Artis is still unconscious, so I guess let's start there and see what you would like to do with that.
Myself, I would think try and find somebody who would have the ability to dispel enchantments upon him, or if my character leveled up again in the future, he would probably take a spell, like dispel magic or restoration, and attempt those. But
okay, so kind of take him back to civilization to try and,
if it required him to go that far, yes.
Okay. Yeah, you could try like some spells that you have in your repertoire, but nothing seems to work. And he remains unconscious for the entirety. So you have kind of this option, right, of taking him back straight away, or I know there were some other kind of interests in stopping off at a couple of other places. Trying to find yours. Okay, so so Ulfgar mentioned that he would want to see if you and I think Kellisto may have mentioned this as well. Oh yeah, looking for the interpreter. So
Mhm.
this is the guy that that you had kind of when you went down into the Yuan-Ti temple, he declined to come with you.
Wisely so.
So being right there in Omu, you could certainly kind of on your way out with unconscious artists, check, see if there was any sign of him. But you do not find any. And in fact, you don't find any trails from him. You realize at this point kind of quite how long you were down in the temple, so it becomes kind of the start to put together like how long it's been since you've seen daylight, and there is no sign of that guy though.
Oh, okay. That was a possibility that we knew might happen, and so did he.
I mean, you don't know what happened to him.
Right.
Maybe he's just like back in Port Nyanzaru with his feet up sipping Tej,
Well, we were either down there for a few hours or a few weeks or a few days. We really don't know. We were gone for quite a while.
So another thing that Kellisto and Ulfgar both mentioned doing was, and perhaps Ulfgar a little more so, but finding out what happened to the survivors of the Star Goddess crash. So this was the airship that had crashed into the big tree, and you turned those survivors over to Valindra so that she could help them recover. So you've got Artis in tow, right? And would you kind of swing by there, or would your priority be being kind of like getting Artis back to?
You mean at Valindra?
Yeah.
It's kind of along the way, isn't it? I mean, we know the path. Of course, we were flying most of the way at the time, but
I think I would be more likely to want to. So what I would probably offer to do is create some kind of what do you call them, carrier that you like attach to a horse, but I wouldn't ask Aelia to do it. I would turn into a workhorse and try to drag him back, or offer to try to carry him flying to Kirsabal.
Okay.
And leave everyone else behind.
Okay.
Well, Ulfgar could polymorph the others and travel some of the way with you if you wanted to travel a little slower, but it would allow us to actually travel flying. I had forgotten about that.
Yep. We should do that then.
He'd be able to cast polymorph 5 times a day, and that would be 5 hours of casting.
That's
Wait, does he?
Because Kirsabal is where those people live, the people that gave us the flight.
Yeah, Arokh, yes.
I figured they might be able to help. Otherwise, my other thing is that Callisto wants the
what?
The golem.
Oh. Ulfgar is rather indifferent to that. He doesn't mind if they keep it or if you will keep it or what.
I just have to fight Valia for it or something.
Yeah, you might have to agree to joint custody.
Yeah.
Okay, so hang on one sec. Let me check one thing about Kirsabal. I just want to check one person's stats. Oh, okay.
Paper, rock, scissors.
All right. So you yeah, you could definitely kind of through polymorph and wild shaping, you could kind of slowly make your way across the jungle to Kirsabal. Do you want to stop at the heart of Uptower where Valindra was on the way, or do you want to head straight there?
Yeah, we could do that. That maybe she'd be able to help.
Yeah, either her or the sorceress at Kursabal. I guess they're a little bit closer technically, and we do have unfinished business with the Star Goddess refugees. So perhaps we could go there and we could just tell her face to face.
Okay.
But I guess Ulfgar would use the sending stones to communicate with her first.
Oh, okay. That's a great idea. So you find your sending stone in the very bottom of your pack.
Yep.
You haven't touched it in a long time.
Yep.
And you're like, Valindra? And there is no reply.
Oh.
In fact, make an Arcana check.
Oh, great.
Sorry.
12.
You don't think it's working anymore.
Oh. Ulfgar
That's
says,
what a 12 gets you.
I think it's broken. I think I've taken one too many bang-ups. We should probably just travel there. It's not that far from Kirsabal, seriously. Maybe an extra day travel out the way.
Yeah, so you could stop at the heart of Ubtao. When you do, you find that it is thoroughly abandoned. There is nothing left there. Except for cages and human bones.
Same as before?
Yep. Well, it's tough to tell if they're the same human bones or different human bones.
Well, you could taste them and tell. Just kidding.
Don't all humans taste alike? Just like chicken.
Let's head on to Kursabal. Don't have any answers here.
Okay. So you get to Kirsabal and you spend the golem is still there. Ashara greets you. She's the older kind of matriarch of the Arokh tribe that's there. And she inspects Artis's body and says that she would like to perform a ritual. So she asks you to spend a day or two there while she prepares for it, and then performs the ritual. And at the end of this time, while you're waiting, you're approached by Princess Moixanare, and she asks you two things. First, she asks you where Tobias is.
He fell.
And then second, she asks, she seems incredibly saddened by this, which is actually very out of character for her. She's usually kind of a big snob, right? But then she does kind of recover herself a little and asks if you were able to locate the chalice.
We
did.
But it disappeared with the Tobias.
No, I didn't have it.
Oh, I thought you did.
I said I passed it to Valia.
Oh. Then Valia produces it from her pack.
Because I said that I won't be chasing for any reliquaries of of our nobles.
Mhm.
When things are missing, Valia has it in her pack.
So is Valia handing it over, or is she just like, yeah, we got it, back in the pack?
She might do that,
I
and then the others would be like, give it to her.
Yeah, that's exactly what she would do. She would be like, yep, we got it. Start putting her pack, and everyone else would be like, just give it to her. She
And Princess Marxanari will be like, excuse me, that is my birthright. You have to turn it over to me. Kind of, she's very like, insistent on that. And when she receives it, finally, she will, she says, she thanks you all for your service and assures you that she will use this for good and to win the support of Choltons, to restore her back to her throne.
Good for you. Just make sure it's good for everyone else too.
She says, of course, my assumption of the throne would be brilliant for everybody, of course.
Of course.
Just be aware there's a lich out for you. Good luck.
She looks a little confused by that, but then kind of huffs and walks away.
Callisto turns to yeah, whatever her name is.
Lacan.
Yeah, and it's like, there's your queen.
She looks a little confused, and says, she's the descendant?
Her says, aye, and she'll need your guidance.
She kind of looks a bit like wilting a little bit, like this is okay. And she will, she says, then at this point, I must part company with you. She says, I don't know if I've ever thanked you for releasing me from that torment. She says, I am proud to have met you and kept your company during a very strange journey.
Aye, that's a nice way of putting it.
She says, young as this one may be, I do intend to serve her, and perhaps I can help guide her. And with that, she kind of bows her head and will walk, following after Marxanari.
Ulfgar says, hold up a second. Got a little something for you. Was gifted to me by a little something it's themselves. She says, here you go. And he gives her the magic coin of heroism that he was gifted by one of the little forest spirits a long time ago.
Okay.
He says, it only works once, but it'll help you in a pinch.
She says, okay, thank you. Says, it is I who owe you, but I appreciate the gift very much.
Ulfgar says, something tells me your job ahead is much more difficult than ours.
She kind of rolls her eyes a little bit and says, you may be right. And with that, she bids you farewell and heads off to meet Prince Na as well, who is Princess Marxanari's younger brother. So, so she kind of takes, heads on after them.
Okay.
Then Ashara will perform the ritual and inform you that she's not able to restore consciousness to artists. But she says, but it is a very simple thing. She says, perhaps you even have it on you and you don't realize that it would work. She says, if you have any water that has received a blessing, this should revive him.
Oh boy, hold on. If I don't have any, then I think Aelia may. I don't see any immediately there. Let me check Aelia. She might have some holy water.
I'm sure it's in Valia's pack.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Holy water. I don't know that Valia would have shared the space.
Excuse me. She doesn't, but she could make some if Ulfgar takes the time to powder some silver, and she could then bless it, right? Being of clerical significance.
Well, it is up to you whether you want to do that or whether you want to. And clearly, there's holy water readily available in Port Nyanzara, so you could head there instead if you wanted.
Probably, I would think that we would try it here because it would be a lot easier to travel with Artis if he was awake.
Okay.
So we would attempt to make holy water here with some of Aelia's blessings.
Okay. All right.
We have nothing but time.
Yeah, so you're able to use the mechanic you're talking about to create holy water and restore consciousness to Artis. He kind of comes to Ishara had him kind of laid out on a bed in a kind of a spare chamber, and he does come to from the application of holy water, and seems very surprised to see you all. He says, "You lot, I didn't expect to see you ever again."
And I think you as well. But
He immediately is looking. Dragonbait? He says.
We were hoping you knew where he was.
He says, "I have an idea where he is. But I need to recover my strength a little before I head out for him."
Sounds like another adventure. Where does he think he is?
He says, "I'm fairly sure the Yuan-Ti have him."
Oh, cripes.
So that's kind of Artis's plan, is to recover a little strength and head back to Omu, in fact, to seek out his lifelong best friend, Dragonbait.
And what about Mesro?
What?
Oh, Mesro?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's he would probably head there after retrieving Dragonbait. At this point, I think he's just kind of worried about Dragonbait's fate, whether he's still alive or not. And I think he realizes that could change at a moment,
Ulfgar would volunteer to help.
Okay.
And he would not hold the others to join. But he knows that he'd be able to speed his journey and be of assistance, so...
Okay.
Kellisto would go back with Artis.
Yeah, okay. So you would all head back there.
I don't think Valia would, though.
No?
I think Aelia...
according to Monk, she wanted to go become a dino racer.
A dino racer, yep.
So maybe she's gonna head to Port Nyanzara and spend some of the cash that she has procuring the fastest and fiercest dinosaur in Port Nyanzara.
Which happens to be Flippy.
So I think she might say that she would wait for you there.
That would work.
I would ask her to take the golem with her. Now we can pick him.
Okay.
Yeah, that would help her stay safe along her path.
How about Aelia? Yeah. Would she head back to Alma? Or?
I don't know, because last time we went, she got hypnotized and almost died fighting the Yuan-Ti.
And I kind of feel like she's actually just done with being underground.
And
Yeah.
I think she's done with it in general. It's not
Mm.
undead, which was her main driving force.
Yeah, I assume that uh, perhaps she would like to find our way home.
Hmm. I think perhaps if she worked with Valia, she could probably stay hidden, and then when everybody returns, then might be able to smuggle her out.
Where are we? We've heard about the bootleggers.
It was one of the princes.
No. There was the other was in Jahaka Bay or Refuge Bay. There was a pirate outpost.
Oh yeah. I think it was Jahaka.
Mm-hmm.
We never actually went over there,
Yep.
but we were told about it.
Yep.
But personally, Ulfgar would think that they'd have better luck trying to work with the Emerald Enclave to get her out of there, because they're more about the diplomatic relations and neutral than they are the slave trade of rare species of most of the populace of Port Nianzaru.
It might, if Ulfgar can get like a message to the Emerald Enclave, they could basically go to like Port Castiglier or some other smaller place to hide out, and a ship can be sent for.
Well, I think the Emerald Enclave is in Fort Belurian, right? Last I knew.
Yes, you
So-
did hear that.
He could say, you know what, you want to wait here in Cursaval where you know you're safe, and we can come back here on the way back.
Yeah, she might not think we're coming back.
Well, either way, she'll be with friendly people that can fly her somewhere if she
That's
absolutely needs to. Or she
Yeah,
just
she might-
or she travels with Valia. Let's say she travels with Valia and keeps a low profile. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah, I think Valia would stay with her until they could get her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So when you head back to the Yuan-Ti temple, and you're going to search for Dragonbait.
Mhm.
Do you think you would go in kind of guns blazing, just Yuan-Ti, you're just done with them, or would it be like a mission of like stealth where you're trying to sneak him out, or one where you're going to
I would think either stealth or diplomacy.
I think Yuan-Ti will not be a problem because I'm still saying we like I was alive. Okay, let's keep it that way. Probably party will be on neutral terms with Yuan-Ti because we fulfilled the wish of the Rasnasi.
And he did say that he would not cause any
Yeah,
of the party any harm.
Any harm unless we left his temple alone.
Right, which we could try and negotiate our way through that.
Darn it, I wanted to burn this place to the ground.
So Ulfgar would try to negotiate. Artis, Kellisto, I think you'd have to kind of like talk him down from just obliteration kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you would Rasnasi does kind of hold his word, you think, and seeing you, especially, he seems almost like intimidated by you, seeing that you somehow survived the tomb. He also has like some small acknowledgement that he's feeling better physically, like his health has returned.
Right.
So not gratitude, going to be thankful, but he does have this kind of acknowledgement. So does offer to turn Dragonbait over to you. Sure enough, he has him in his prison, and offers to turn Dragonbait over to you, you know, with the understanding that you will leave the Yuan-Ti alone, basically. That you'll never kind of...
That was the original agreement. We would leave each other alone.
Okay. So, he will return Dragonbait to you. Dragonbait is in a very sorry state. He is malnourished. He has got all the levels of exhaustion and has clearly been through hell and back. So,
with that, I take my flint and steel and I light the TNT that we placed underneath their entire place. And walk away as it explodes in the background.
It's like, just like a Michael Bay film, but with Ulfgar. Okay. So let me return to your questions. Let's see if there's anything else. I know Ulfgar has like a focus on Hrackhammer as well, going there to see how the dwarves are doing. And then also traveling back to Port Nyanzaru to see, to check in with Sindra.
Okay, I think that's everyone, right?
Right? Let's just stop at everybody's place on the way home.
Hey, we made a lot of acquaintance. We did not.
Yeah,
I have no interest in stopping off at Camp. What is it, Mabala or Camp Vengeance? That was it. Camp Vengeance.
Okay. Okay, more interesting stuff. Where I will land in afterlife. That's the most interesting question for me.
You're now in the ether with your Eidolons. You're an Eidolon yourself.
No.
Now some people can summon you.
Summon you.
That's lazy. Aren't DMs supposed to roll like D100s?
I'm not rolling anything for like anybody's like after this adventure stuff.
She could roll it, but you'd still be dead.
The last thing that I'll say, right?
Because I know that PCs are going according to their alignment.
Yeah, I'm just the last point that I'm gonna make. Last thing, kind of storyline that I'll share is that when you finally get when Kellisto, so after retrieving Dragonbait, Artus will part ways with you. He wants to go to Mesro, and Dragonbait, you know, he's going to kind of help Dragonbait out as well. So he parts ways with you and says that you know, he hopes he's lucky enough to have your company again. And then you can head off back to Port Nyanzaru, whether you do it via Hrackhammer or not, Ulfgar. But when you arrive at Port Nyanzaru to check in with your original employer, Sindra, you find that she has been dead for quite a while. That the curse overwhelmed her and she did not make it.
We are
no
terrible.
payment.
Oh my gosh.
No reward.
I guess we would tell Watanga at this point. You know, we were able to succeed to a point, but at what costs? You know.
He does say her body is, you know, in a state of repose. He says if you were to provide the material and funds, her spirit could be restored to her body.
Well,
yeah,
we've got some money. Valia's here. Valia, we never split the pot. Here, let's spend 1,000. She
spent it already on the dino.
Yeah, probably. Let's spend 1,000 gold and bring Sindra back. Right. So buy ourselves 1,000 gold diamond, and then, I mean, Ulfgar would be all about that. if we could bring her back. He knows that he can't bring back Tobias, sadly, but sure.
Okay.
Any objection to that? Okay.
Yeah, then you're able to restore Syndra to life. Her spirit is no longer caught inside the soulmonger. Her soul is free to choose if it wants to, come back to her body, and she chooses to do so. So you are able to restore life to her, and she is obviously surprised that first of all she's back alive again, and second that you did succeed in your mission, and shares with you that she had given up all hope after you were gone for a long time, and she didn't hear from you. She thought for sure that you were dead in the jungle. So yeah. Then I think just like to wrap it up, like last bit, if you've got, I guess, any questions about the story itself, then we can kind of go through some of those.
I think Kellisto has a list of them, a list of questions about this.
I've been looking at most of those.
I think you answered most of them. The only thing I wanted to know was, where's our original?
Our original what? Guide?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we ran into her because, what was it? The Crooked Prince that was trying to sell Aelia, or buy Aelia, was defending her, I think, when Valia went back to talk to him or something like that. She started accusing us of stuff, but we don't know what her story was, what the deal was with her.
So yeah, if you spend some time in Port Nyanzaru, then eventually you will see her. She still seems to be kind of running the same like routine, offering services as a guide, and yeah, she seems to be kind of oblivious to what you've been doing, or
She probably doesn't remember us, but she will when Valia finds.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think Valia may have some words to say to her. So.
Yeah, in the form of getting my belly.
Yeah, she will make a very pretty rug.
Yeah, so that's where she's at. She's still in Port Nyanzaru, still working as a guide, and you could certainly take some revenge if you felt the need to do so.
I'm going to be haunting her to the end of her life.
Ulfgar doesn't, but who knows what Valia is doing while we're still not at Port Nyanzaru, so.
Yeah.
Monkey did do another message saying that Valia is definitely going to become a famous dino, or go in search of the Lizardfolk we ran into earlier.
Maybe a bit of both.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she's certainly got the financial backing now to buy a dino and train it up, or, and spend some quality time in Port Nyanzaru racing that dino, and become quite famous for doing so.
Callisto's going to go back to wherever land they came from, I forget, eventually, and is either going to get really frustrated being out on her own and bothering Ulfgar for more adventures, or she'll just open a distillery. Make her own test.
Yeah, I think you could buy a Tej recipe, from one of the local breweries in Port Nyanzaru.
She wasn't a very good druid anyway.
Ulfgar would attempt to make a Emerald Enclave contact / base of operations associated with Hrackhammer, and try staying there, but only after he's able to smuggle Aelia back to her homelands, and probably stay at Hrackhammer and help. You know, he feels that there's unfinished business down there, and establishing a deeper foothold into the wilderness is key to maintaining some peace. And that Raznasi does not surge up too high, and nor the Lich regain
in check.
footing. Yeah. But that's what he would like to try and do.
Okay.
Okay, well then Callisto won't save Ulfgar again. She hated Hrackhammer.
Hey, not a problem. Not a problem. He's not holding anybody to it.
She is not a fan of the jungle.
Done with Jolt.
Yep, she wants to go back to her forest, or the foresty area.
Okay.
You'd probably receive communications now and again from him.
Yeah.
Stay in touch.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think that pretty much wraps it up then.
It's been a fun 2 years, guys.
I mean, thank you is all I can really say, and that's quite inadequate. But thank you guys for playing this with me. It's been fantastic.
Oh, and
Thank you.
there would be a new statue out front of Hrackhammer of a dragon warrior and his 2 disciples on either side of him. Totally. Yep.
Tobias statue at Hrackhammer.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
For what?
Because that's not far from where we felled Tinder, and you earned your second your second dragon.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
It seemed
much.
appropriate. So. Well, thanks viewers for sticking around for so long. Those that have on YouTube and or Twitch.
Yeah, if you watch this whole series on YouTube, you are amazing.
Yeah, no kidding.
And also slightly crazy.
Yeah, the amount of time that go. Wow. Thank you so much, Kashcah.
You're welcome.
For being a really great DM.
I don't. Oh,
This was your
true.
first long campaign, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You've only done like some one shots
short
before.
guys.
Yeah.
This is the longest.
Yeah, and that was my first campaign.
Oh yeah.
So I think I did pretty well until the end. I'm not salty that I died. Yeah. Anyway, it was fun.
Splitting the party is never a good idea.
Tie a rope
It was
to
fun.
him.
I had plans for Tobias in Epilogue. But I think I will have to make this to the let's say another timeline.
Alternate universe.
Alternate universe, exactly.
Yeah, that's actually what happened. You didn't get destroyed. You got teleported to an alternate universe where everyone's evil. So you'll fit in just fine. Anyway.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. Thank you,
thank you.
Callisto. Thank you.
Thank you,
Nerevar.
Thanks for playing.
Yep.
Thank you, Valia.
Thank you, Lyssa.
Yep, I know you're not here, but thank you.
And thank you, viewers, for joining us on this adventure. So,
Yeah, you're people of commitment and sheer will. if you're watching this.
And I guess stay tuned because this is not the last adventure for us.
Yeah,
We'll be back.
Like D&D stuff.
Yeah. More D&D is coming up. So yeah.
Yep.
Stay tuned for that.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.